You're born in New England in the late 80s or early 90s. Not exactly a golden era, but hey, you had Drew Bledsoe. You had Parcells stopping on sidelines, Curtis Martin breaking tackles, and just enough playoff hope to make you think this football thing might actually be fun. Your parents dressed you in Patriots gear that looked more like a cheap Halloween costume than championship colors. But at least you weren't a Jets fan. That was the bar. Survival. Then came the miracle of timing. You grew up just as the greatest underdog story in NFL history was about to unfold. Tom Brady, the sixth-round afterthought, Bill Belichick, the monotone mastermind. Suddenly, your team wasn't just good, it was the standard. You didn't just get a taste of success, you got a 5-course meal with extra dessert. By the time you hit high school, the Patriots were basically your personality. Your childhood wasn't about asking if you'd make the playoffs. It was about deciding who you'd crush once you got there. You weren't just a fan. You were spoiled rotten by greatness. Winning wasn't special. It was normal. And you never stopped to think about what that would do to you later. Once Brady and Belichick got rolling, you weren't just watching football anymore. You were watching a cheat code in action. 3 Super Bowls in 4 years. Dynasty status before you even finished puberty. It wasn't, are the Patriots good? It was, which poor team is about to get publicly executed this week? The AFC East? That was less a division and more a daycare. Twice a year, you took the Jets, Bills, and Dolphins out behind the woodshed and reminded them who their dad was. You didn't just win, you redefined what winning looked like. Every February, you weren't asking, are we in the Super Bowl? You were asking, what color confetti will they shower us with this time? Winning became so normal, it was boring. And that's the most dangerous drug a fan can ever taste. But then came 2007. Perfection. 16-0. Brady to Moss like it was a Madden glitch. You weren't just the best team in football. You were about to be immortal. The only other team to go undefeated were the 72 Dolphins, and those guys were old enough to be asking for senior discounts. You were about to knock them off their last pedestal. And then, the Giants happened. David Tyree, helmet catch, Eli freaking Manning. The NFL's answer to a substitute math teacher walked into history and ripped immortality out of your hands. That wasn't just a loss. That was a Greek tragedy. Your team had a chance to become gods, and instead they got punked by a guy who looks like he gets lost in his own locker room. You'll never live that one down. And just when the rest of the country thought, okay, maybe the Patriots are human after all, the scandals started rolling in. Spygate, Deflategate, everyone pointing fingers, screaming, cheaters, like it was a courtroom drama. And you laughed. Because deep down, you knew it didn't matter. Cheating accusations don't sting when you're stacking rings like pancakes at IHOP. Then came 2017. The Falcons, 28-3. The game was over. At least for everyone else. But not for Brady. Not for Belichick. Not for you. That night, your team didn't just win a Super Bowl. They resurrected themselves like football zombies. It was the greatest comeback in NFL history. And you got to watch it. Suddenly, the Giants' heartbreak, the scandals, the hate, none of it mattered. You were back on top, flipping off the world with another Lombardi in hand. And then, it ended. Not with one last parade, not with Brady riding off into the sunset in Foxborough, but with him packing up for Tampa Bay. Tampa, land of retirees, swamp air, and pastel pillows. Patriots fans tried to shrug it off. Fine, let him go. The real mastermind is Belichick anyway. Yeah, about that. Because while Belichick was busy drafting long snappers and punters like they were first-round talent, Brady was convincing Gronk to unretire, tanning on boats, and casually winning another Super Bowl in his very first year away. Nothing says it was me, not you, like leaving a 20-year marriage and immediately upgrading to a Florida vacation home with better weather and another Lombardi. And that's when the truth hit. Belichick wasn't the magician. He was the guy holding the wand while Brady pulled all the rabbits out of the hat. Without Brady, the Hoodie's genius turned into 3 yards and a cloud of misery. Enter the quarterback carousel. First up, Cam Newton. Superman. Except by the time he got to Foxborough, he was Clark Kent without the glasses. You watched him skip 5 yards out into the turf like he was playing lawn darts. Then came Mac Jones, sold to you as the next Brady, which was adorable, until you realized he played more like the next Brian Hoyer. Sure, he made the Pro Bowl once, but that's like winning Employee of the Month at Blockbuster in 2010. Nice, but completely meaningless. And then there was Bailey Zapp, a 4th-round rookie who became a cult hero in New England simply because he wasn't Mac Jones. That's how low the bar had dropped. You were cheering for Bailey Zapp like he was the second coming, only to watch the hype die faster than a TikTok trend. But the humiliation didn't stop with the names. Oh no, you got moments. The kind of moments that make you turn off the TV and question why you were born. Like the infamous Raiders lateral play. Tie game. Last play, you take the knee. But no. Jacoby Myers decides to channel his inner Madden glitch and launches the ball backwards to Mac Jones, who then gets steamrolled by Chandler Jones into the turf so violently, you could hear the Dolphins laughing from Miami. That wasn't a football play. That was a funeral. Or Week 13 against Buffalo, when Mac Jones completely melted down, screaming, "Throw the effing ball!" at his coaches on national TV like a toddler denied dessert. Or Week 4 against Dallas, when he threw a pick six, got strip-sacked for another touchdown, and was benched before the third quarter ended. Every Sunday turned into an audition for America's Funniest Home Videos NFL edition. Meanwhile, Brady's in Florida, sunburnt and sipping tequila, literally tossing the Lombardi trophy from boat to boat at a parade. And you're in New England, stuck watching Belichick scowl after another 7-10 season, muttering, "We'll try to do better." The empire that once ruled football, reduced to a traveling comedy act with a different bad quarterback headlining every week. After Brady left, after Belichick face-planted, after you watched Mac Jones cry on the sidelines like a kid whose mom forgot to pack his Lunchables, you should have quit. Really. That was the logical choice. But you didn't, because you're a Patriots fan. And that means you're basically a lab rat pressing the shock me button because you miss the smell of cheese. You tell yourself you can't be the only one who got addicted to winning, right? 6 rings. 20 years of dominance. You thought it would never end. And even now, you convince yourself it's coming back. Robert Kraft is going to fix this. He's a smart businessman. He owns a paper company. He's been to massage parlors. He doesn't like losing. He's shown us that. He'll get it all situated ASAP. So you latch onto anything. Drake May completes a screen pass in preseason, and you're like, he's the next Brady. You'll see. He's got the poise. Stephon Diggs runs one clean route in training camp, and you convinced yourself his ACL is basically brand new. Travion Henderson breaks a run against third-string linebackers who will be bagging groceries by October, and you swear you saw flashes of Barry Sanders. And when Efton Chisholm makes a toe tap in practice, boom. He's the next Edelman, no questions asked. It's the same cycle every year. January, I'm done. March, this roster's sneaky good. April, the draft was genius if you actually understand football. August, best camp we've had in years. And by September, you're on the couch in your lucky hoodie, $10 Bud Light in hand, telling yourself, we're back. And you believe it. Every single time. Because you don't cheer for the Patriots anymore. You relapse into them. Hope isn't the trap. Hope is the dealer. And you'll take another hit, thank you very much. At some point, this stopped being about football. You don't just watch the Patriots, you are the Patriots. Once dominant, now embarrassing, but still walking around with that same smug face like everyone should respect you. You tell people, 6 rings, greatest dynasty in NFL history. And technically you're right. But also, nobody cares. Because while you're still flexing about the early 2000s, the rest of the NFL is pointing at you like, hey, isn't that the team that got stiff-armed by Chandler Jones into the earth's crust? Your wardrobe proves your loyalty. You've got Brady jerseys, Gronk jerseys, Bledsoe throwbacks. You even have the special Bill Belichick Patriots hoodie. All this because you refuse to let go. You look like a walking Patriots museum gift shop. Half of the stuff doesn't even fit anymore, but you wear them anyway, because that's who you are. Plus, it helps you remember the good days. And don't even get me started on the money. You've spent rent money on Gillette tickets just to watch your team lose 17-10 while freezing your face off in December. You've paid $12 for a hot dog and $19 for a Bud Light, only to watch Bailey Zapp throw 3 picks before halftime. That's not fandom. That's Stockholm Syndrome. But you keep doing it, because the Patriots aren't just your team. They're your identity. Other people have hobbies. You have trauma bonding. Every conversation about football eventually circles back to, well, we have 6 rings. You say it like you were personally in the huddle, like you were the one running slants for Edelman, like you helped Belichick cut the sleeves off his hoodie. You can't leave. You won't leave. You've tasted too much success. So you keep spending the money. Keep putting up with all the changes, with all the failure. Because you know, eventually, it has to come back. The Patriots are in your blood now. And unfortunately, that blood type is type L.